Is the cruise industry about to explode? Some analysts think so, and today we're looking at some of the facts that may lead us to that conclusion of what the cruise industry has in store for the future. In order to think about the future of cruising, we've got to look at the past. We're going to go way back in time. I went to his website, Cruise Market Watch, really cool. I like some of the data that they have. And if they were, looking back kind of a couple of years to 1990, way back when we were cruising before that, not to worry. Yeah, there's lots of examples in history of that. But besides the point, modern day cruising, they're going to start here at 1990. If you look at some of the data from the past, you can see there is a massive upward trajectory in the number of people around the world who decided to cruise. A lot of passengers carried between 1990 and even 2001, but when it went from about 3.7 million to about 7.2 million. And then the cruise industry exploded in a whole new way between 2001 and about 2007 or so. Between 7 million and 14 million guests started going worldwide, right? 14 million guests alone started going in 2007. Then, as we continue to progress, we see all the way until 2019. In 2019, 27,508,900 passengers were taken on cruises worldwide. Keep in mind, there were, disturbances in the cruise industry during a lot of these years, right? There were issues that they had, but it continued to climb. Guests continue to come in and enjoy the experiences. We can see some kind of waves in there, here and there, but overall, a lot of guests really enjoy cruising. And the market is, and when I say market, I mean companies are taking note of that and saying, okay, there's definitely potential here as we're seeing this growth continue to go upward with no, signs in this graph anyway, of leveling off. Now, as we look further into the future, of course, the more recent times, there was a very large dip. And I kind of cut this off at first just because I didn't want you to be confused and say, okay, well, clearly there is a problem. But you may recall, we all had to stay inside for about 2 years or so. And there was a significant dip in the number of passengers who were taken on cruise ships. I'm actually kind of surprised by the number in 2020, 7,092,600. Those 7 million weren't participating in all the close downs? Okay, I don't know. I have no idea where that number comes from, but this site seems pretty reputable. So I was looking at it, and then in 2021, you'll notice it starts to bounce back. So 7 million brings us to about the 2001 time period where cruising was taking about 7 million guests on board every year. Then you look at 2021, gigantic leap, right? It's going back to those numbers that it had in 2007, 2008-ish, somewhere around there. 13,905,900 guests were coming on board these ships around the world. And 2022 will no doubt continue this trend upward as cruise ships start to relax some of those policies, more of them start to open, more guests are enjoying them, and they're starting to fill up. We can look even further into the data as we think about some of these revenue charts, right? In 2017, you can see tremendous amount of revenue. This is in billions of US dollars, right? Just kind of giving you an idea. In 2020, right, big dip, as you'd expect in the cruise industry. But once again, they're predicting, and these are now prediction numbers, are moving in this upward trajectory where they're set to surpass those numbers from 2019 as early as 2024. Now, these numbers are definitely corroborated by other predictors, right? And remember, predictions are just that, predictions. There's no way to know if these are going to be accurate, but they're pretty good representations as to what the market is currently feeling about cruising. But what is the layout of the cruise industry around the world? Now, this is thinking about worldwide, not just in the United States. I want to be very clear on that. Carnival makes up 45% of all of the revenue in cruising around the world. That's big. Carnival Cruise Line, no doubt, is the leader in terms of revenue across the world. And a lot of friends, I got to be honest with you, I made a video recently talking about how I'm never going on a Carnival cruise ship, and that 100% stands. A lot of friends have been coming up to me being like, Michael, you got to try it. You just give it a try, please. And some friends actually, I just recently ran into a great family who were telling me, look at these pictures. We had so much fun. You should try it. So maybe we'll try it one day in the future. Still thinking about those safety things and all that. Maybe the newer ships, we'll see. I'm still holding out on that one. But you can see Carnival makes up a huge percentage of the profit worldwide, followed close, not super closely, but followed by Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, MSC, and then other. You'll notice other there. Another one of the statistics that I like to use when thinking about cruising is who is cruising, because that's one of the factors that I know a lot of the different cruise lines kind of target certain audiences, right? So some are meant for like older guests, some are meant for younger guests, right? So you can see there's a wide difference here. I want to note that if you're reading it as I am, the numbers are a little reversed here, at least as I'm thinking about it. Those 55 to 64 are on the far left side of this chart. I'm just making reference for you. So you can see that most people who are cruising are between 25 and 34 years old, but still almost 10% of all cruisers in the United States are over the age of 55. I got to tell you, when I first looked at these numbers, I was kind of surprised. I'm going to be the guy cruising like when I'm 70 or 80 or more. I'm telling you, I love cruising. I'm always going to love it. It's going to be one of my favorite ways of adventuring. However, these charts don't lie. In 2021, you can see not as many people who are older went on cruise ships. That being said, the younger generation, those in between the ages of 25 and 34 and 35 and 44 are definitely cruising and really enjoy it. That's a big component here as we look at those who want to go and adventure out. Now, the numbers are great to look at, but keep in mind, these are predictions. These are like the future. Like, we don't know for sure if 2025 is really going to look like this in terms of amount of revenue the cruise ships have, but we do have more investor information, which I thought was really interesting on cruise ship news, cruise industry news. Apparently, a major hotel chain is set to announce their new cruise line sometime in September. A French startup and Explorers is also planning apparently some announcement with, there's a press conference coming in early September with more details about different, apparently, cruise lines. And with this much potential revenue for these companies in the market, it's no surprise that we're starting to see new cruise lines starting to pop up as we realize that guests are looking for different experiences and to go out, explore, and be on basically a luxury floating hotel that visits different destinations. To me, it's the best of both. You know how much I love cruising. You are pampered, you get great food, and you get to go and see great places. Like, you get all of it. It's all right there. It's perfect. So I think there's a tremendous future for cruising in the world, not just in the United States, but I'm looking at the United States in this kind of picture in my mind. But in the world, we're going to see a lot more cruising, no doubt about it. Another good example is if you look at some of the current cruise lines that are out there, some of them like Norwegian and Royal Caribbean have new cruise ships scheduled for years, some of them all the way until 2026 in the future, a new cruise ship every year through 2026. You can't tell me that you're just going to be building these and no one's going to be going on them. Clearly, there are indicators in the market and all around that tell us that the cruise industry is about to explode. And it's going to be really, really fun to experience as a guest because these companies continue to compete with each other to try and earn your business. I believe that this kind of competition is spectacular for all of us because we can say, oh, I love this thing and I love this thing, and maybe they'll continue to one-up each other to create that fantastic cruise experience that we all love. I'm super excited for the future of cruising, got to be honest with you. The new cruise lines, we may not see them for a while. It'll take a little while to get started and start rolling and new guests and all that, no question about it. But needless to say, there's a lot of excitement around the competition of these different cruise lines against each other to continue to one-up each other and create fantastic experiences. I'm excited about it. Let me know if you are in the comments below and what new feature you want to see on a future ship that's maybe not currently there or just announced. Go-karts, laser tag, ice skating, you name it. Some of them are already there. Some of them may be coming in the future. Let me know in the comments. Want to hear from you. A special thanks to our patrons for making all of our videos possible, and thanks to you for watching. Until next time, have a magical day, and I'll see you real soon.